Welcome back to the course. In this video we're going to add a custom request to clean up our controllers. So let's dive into it. Alright, so the thing that we want to clean up here is this, right? So a validation in here and having the same one in here, well, it's duplicate code. So I want to move this into a custom request, and that also will allow us to use this functionality in other controllers as well, or in APIs, or in whatever you want to use it for, right? So let's head over to Warp here and PHP artisan make, and we're actually going to check what we can make here, and it's this one here, a request. So PHP artisan make a request, and we're going to call it business request, like that. And this creates a business request for us in a new folder called requests. So if you head over to the folder structure here, requests, and in here we have a request. All right, so authorize here, this can be used to authorize the action. So in here we could write functionality to check if a person is allowed to do this. And a person, I mean a logged in user to perform this kind of action. In this case here, we're actually going to set this to true because we are already authorizing the users in our routes file here, middleware auth. All right, so let's head over to rules. And yeah, this may seem familiar because this is actually the same array as we have here. So let's copy this, put this in here, like that. So this is actually the rules that we're going to use to perform our request. But in this case, we have the same set of rules for either store or update. But you could have the possibility that you need a different set of rules for update than for store. Well, you could create two requests, for example, business store request, business update request, or you could write an if statement in here as well, like this, which actually checks the request, and the request is with brackets here, and is method of, for example, post. And for the, if you want to check for the update, you can use the put, and in here you can actually do the same thing like this. Well, I'm quickly going to show you. This is else if, like that, and whoops. And sometimes I do it as well, like this. So let's see if, whoops, this is post. So whenever it's a post request, I perform this set of rules. Whenever it's a put request, I perform this set of rules. So it's actually more or less the same thing, but in our case here, we are using the same set of rules for every request that is coming in. All right, so now we can actually get rid of this here, validate. We can get rid of that. And also in the update, we can get rid of that. Let's check if this still works. Refresh the page here, and we're talking about businesses. So let's edit this, write a number 2 here, save that. That's correct. Let's actually try to inject one without a name, and we're getting cannot be null. So this isn't working. All right, and that's because, all right, it's a stupid mistake. I forgot to actually replace the request here with business request. And in here as well, the store as a business request. And at the top here, we also need to import it. So use, and it's an app http:/requests/ business request, like that. And if we go back, refresh, remove this, and save again, now the form is actually not submitting, but I don't have any form feedback, so let's quickly add that as well. So in here we're going to go to edit, because we're actually in the edit functionality, and I'm going to add an if statement here, if there are errors, and this is something that the request validation will inject back to us. So if there are errors, if there are any errors, I want a for each that loops over all the errors. So errors all, like that, without this here, of course. And every one of them I want to be an error, and let's put it in a paragraph, or no, I'm going to add a UL here, like that, and an li of them all, right, like that. And in here I want the error to show, like that. So let's refresh that, erase that, save, and now I have the business name field is required. So the validation still works. All right, let's actually copy this and put it also in here for the store. There we go. So this was working, but I'm kind of not liking this here. There is also a shorter way to do that. There is actually a create function on the business itself, on the model actually. So we can actually write this to do exactly the same thing. Business equals to business, column create, like we used in the factory and so on. And I want create to be filled with the request that has been passed through the business request. And I want that to give me all the validated data. So validated like that. And let's get rid of this. And now we only have a function with only 2 lines of code inside. So let's quickly check this out if this is working, because I think we still need to add business, test business, test at test.com. There we go. Save that, and this might fail. Yes, it does, because add business field to fillable property to allow mass assignment. All right, so this is actually failing because the validated data that is returning isn't known to be mass assignable in the create function. To add that functionality, we need to update our model as well. So, and a perfect example here is the user model. This has a protected fillable of all the fields that are mass assignable. As the comment here states, the attributes that are mass assignable. So actually I'm going to copy this like that, copy and paste it in here. And I want this to be the business name and also the contact email. And by doing so, this will work because the create function is actually doing a mass assignment of all the fillable fields. All right, so let's refresh here, send. And now my test business is created. All right, so let's add the same functionality for the update. And in here, update is a bit easier. We can use business update of the request validated, like that, and remove all these. And now our update is also only 2 lines of code. And if I quickly clean this one up as well, then we have a very, very neat controller, right? Okay, so that's it. That's how you can use custom requests to keep your controls small and have your validation inside of that custom request to be able to use it throughout a lot of different controllers or APIs or whatever you want to use it in. And yeah, that's it. So I will see you in the next episode of our series. Take care. Bye-bye.